And yesterday, data on the COVID seems like it mm, um, reduced lah. Okay, reducing. Hopefully, it will go lower. Like Selangor yesterday, 100 and can't remember exact, but less than 200 lah. 150, I think. 150 something. Right, so you can look on your exercise. You can go through. Later, you're going to have a discussion on that. I have mine as well, so hopefully you have yours. Okay. This scheduling is a famous one because in chapter 1, 2, and 3 covered in the midterm for your information. Very brief, yeah. And chapter 2 is one of the famous questions because you want to have your understanding on the planning and scheduling.
Doktor dah breakfast dah.
Dah? Tibakar?
Makan apa? Makan apa?
Tibakar? Nescafe?
Kita sama.
Ha? Oh. Manculah sendiri.
Tak boleh.
Jangan sweet-sweet lah Alip.
Saya nak teman doktor.
Boleh.
Sebelum
Nanti tengok exercise betul ke tidak. Alim
saya tak buat. Saya tinggal dekat KL.
No excuse. Then your name will be called lah for the exercise.
Kena potong rambut tu.
Saya boleh.
Saya buat tapi saya contoh. Saya tak buat betul.
As long as you understand. As long as you're correct, you have correct answer, and then meaning that you understand what the spirit behind the scheduling itself lah. For the calculation, for the network, especially network diagram lah, to counter check between your Gantt chart and your network diagram. Alright, we already have 7 minutes past 10. Can I start now?
No problem. No.
Yes.
Right. I think I should read this one. Okay, Assalamualaikum. Very good morning, class.
Salam doktor.
Now you're already in week 4. Okay, 4 weeks already. Right, so we're still on chapter 2. So for today, class, I'm still covering on the scheduling, planning and scheduling, and mainly for the discussing on your exercises lah. So all that I already provide in your Putra Blast. I already upload in your Putra Blast, and those exercises mainly to for you to understand in terms of the not only on the drawing, which is drawing on the Gantt chart and network diagram, but as well to identify the critical path, and from there also you will know in terms of which activity are under the critical path. You can estimate especially on the estimate the project duration, and also in a way of to calculate the slack time. Okay, so all that is in terms of estimating your project duration, and from there to help you better as a developer to do some adjustment on your project, the activities, project durations, and all that. Okay. So for the exercises, there are two files that I already provide on the Putrablas. I should share my screen now. Okay. These two, if you can see the screen now. Okay, this one. Okay, exercise scheduling part 1, exercise scheduling part 2, and also together with notes on network diagram. Okay. These two files, there are some questions that for you to answer. Okay, I believe all of you I already mentioned or remind actually that you should do these exercises so that from there you can understand what we covered in the class. Okay, class? Can you see the screen now?
Yes.
Can you see the
Yes.
screen? Okay, good.
Yes.
So you should put
Yes,
in.
Doctor.
Right. Okay, so very brief, yeah. Estimating the time required. Okay, for example, this activity, dependency, and weight required. Okay, so all this information usually being estimated early of the project. Okay, when I mention early of the project, meaning that of course it is a projection in terms of the activities and also dependency and weight required. So in terms of that, this estimation is possibly during the project progress, they may need to modify or they need to identify which activity are very important and cannot be negotiated in terms of delay or in terms of the progress. So with that, there are certain tools that which can help developer in terms of do some adjustment, or if cannot be adjusted, they have to concentrate more so that that particular activity are not delayed, okay, or in progress. Okay? So in terms of that, with in the class we introduced the student on the network diagram and also Gantt chart. Okay, I believe all of you capable of at least drawing the Gantt chart. Okay, so with the Gantt chart you can identify how long the project should be completed. Okay, so for this particular example, even shown already in the class. Okay, for this particular example, there are 22 weeks allocated for those activities under analysis, right? Possibly you have other activities there, okay, phases there, okay, but now for this example, analysis. So means that for this given data estimation, so it should be completed in 22 weeks. However, Gantt chart still have certain limitation, I would say, in a way of you want to know which one is the critical activity and which one is not a critical activity. Okay, and even when we're talking about critical activities, it should be complete on time. And the activities which are not critical can be adjusted in terms of the um, the duration. Okay, can be delayed or possibly can be, if delay, how long it can be delayed. So all those cannot be estimated using Gantt chart. That's why we need to use network diagram, and with the network diagram itself with a certain notation, okay, and also there are way or method used on the drawing itself and technique to calculate the slack time. Okay, that's why I'm giving you the another notes which is on the forward pass and backward pass. Okay, so that is to summarize about all those what we have done. Okay, and so in this particular file, okay, part 1 here. Okay, if you look all those questions, okay, basically produce Gantt chart, produce network diagram, and from there you can identify the project duration, slack time, and also which one is critical path. It's a very generic one. Okay, even in your midterm later, that is the question that being asked to you later. Okay, and from this, I think how do you find? I think the first question is very straightforward, right? Very straightforward, class. Are you agree?
Yes.
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 Okay. So question 1. Okay, you can refer to your answer. Okay. I'm asking now. Okay. If you notice, right, between Gantt chart and network diagram, okay, you can do counter check actually. Am I correct? You can do counter check. For example, Gantt chart for the first question, okay, you have means that it should be completed in 22 weeks. Okay? When you do the drawing for your network diagram as well, okay, so you will get the same figure, right? If not, meaning that there's something wrong with your drawing, or there must be something wrong with your calculation. Your forward pass or maybe backward pass, right? Okay, once you did your network diagram, okay, either it's a very basic layout or detailed one with the earliest start time, earliest finish time, latest start time, latest finish time, okay, all those 4, and then from there you can calculate slack time, right? Okay, possibly there are some wrongly, you do some wrong calculation there, okay. Okay. So one of my difficulty is that I don't want to do drawing with Microsoft Word. It's very difficult for me. So I just do the draft under mine on the piece of paper. Right. So I also want you to do that. Okay, because it's much easier. Okay, much easier. If you have a tool that can help you to do on that drawing, okay, on the network diagram, that is good. Okay, you can find it later. Okay. Right. So it's a very basic in terms of drawing. You can start and then you can start the drawing, which is you read from the activity, dependency, and required, right? And on the forward pass and also backward pass. So can I ask now? Saya tanya sekarang.
Yes.
Okay, you have your answer, right? So you just want to check, counter check, kan? Ada baru masuk, ya? Okay. So Anis did send me, email me. Thank you, Anis. And for now, okay, only Anis send me the answer. It's okay. Hopefully you just do your own and then you just can discuss with your friend and also counter check lah. Okay. So for A, siapa? Mana Alif tadi? Alif, where are you? Alif? Nak teman saya kan?
Bidang
Okay, sekarang ni. Cuba, can you tell me for A, for question 1, activity A, which is 3 weeks,
aktiviti A.
earliest start time for A is what?
Early start time. Kosong lah.
Yeah, kosong. Earliest finish time,
Yes, finish time 4.
for A. A how many weeks?
3 weeks. 4 weeks.
No.
3. 3.
Alif.
Apa ni?
3 weeks for A means
Ah.
that earliest start time is 0 because
Zero.
you can immediate start A,
Yes.
okay, when the project begins, right? Okay.
Betul.
And for B, Alif,
B, early start time. 3 juga.
3. Earliest finish time,
Early finish time 7.
7. Okay, good. Okay. Khairi. Hari ni kita panggil guys lah.
Ya,
Khairi. C, activity C.
C.
C. Activity C duration dia 4 weeks. Earliest start time and earliest finish time?
Earliest start kosong. Satu,
Finish? Earliest finish?
4.
5. Okay. What about D?
D.
Uh,
Earliest 8.
earliest start time for D. Denmark.
I get 8. Is for 8 kot. Dekat 8.
Salah, Khairi. Can you check back your answer? Because
Okay.
D dependency is between C and B. C and B. So B, latest finish time is 7. C, latest finish time is 7. So earliest start time for D is 7.
Okay. Same.
What about earliest finish time for D?
12. 12.
Okay. What about G? Earliest start time for G?
12.
12.
Okay.
What about H? After G, H?
18.
18. Okay. Kenapa tadi salah 8?
Oh tak. Keliru tengok table ni.
Tengok table mana? You have your drawing, right? Network diagram.
Tak. Sama je semua macam.
Sama.
Dia kat kotak 8 tapi ingat dia start dari 8 pun dia start dari 7.
Okay. Faiz? Where are you, Faiz?
Ya, betul.
Okay. F.
F.
Earliest start time for F?
10.
10. Okay. Latest finish time for F? Latest finish time. LFT.
18. Ke 10.
18. Okay. Okay, good. So,
Finish. 10. 10
again?
ke?
Mana? F. Finland, F. Latest finish time. The bottom right.
Oh, 18. I
18.
guess.
Latest finish time. Right? So, the critical path. Laluan critical.
Critical path A, B, E, H, I.
Okay, good. Pulang nyanyi tu. Right. Anything to ask on the first question on network diagram? Okay. Faris, si kucing putih ni. Faris. Orange ke? Kenapa saya nampak putih? Alahai. Okay. Apa yang bela? Tanya. Sebelum saya tanya dalam midterm question nanti. Buat ke tidak? Network diagram with the forward and backward pass. You done that? Salah. Okay. Alright. Tak apa. Tak apa. Do you know how to do the forward and backward pass? Aris? Understand tak? Do you understand? Okay. So if you a bit confused, I want you to redo back first question because second question is more tricky. Kena ulang balik sebab soalan pertama ni dah very simple. It's a bit simple. If you go for the question number 2 later, yang soalan nombor 2 tu lagi susah sikit. A bit tricky. Boleh? Tricky apa? You have to see it and you have to focus on the calculation. Silap sikit dia akan dapat your calculation will be wrong. Start wrong from the beginning, then you be back up to the finish kan kalau your network diagram tu. Nanti salah semualah. If your forward pass wrong, then your backward pass also will be incorrect. Okay? My advice. Okay, you can start doing that. If you have anything, you can ask me later. Okay, let me double check others. Francis, where are you, Francis? Are you there?
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Can I ask you now? You have done your exercise?
I'm not done with you, doctor, because I have quiz.
You have what? Again?
I'm not done with you, doctor. I've been fixing writing my quiz. You see, I have the last one today by 3 p.m. Then I'll finish my exercise.
Okay. Is it possible for you? Have you studied on the planning and scheduling? The notes that I provide to the class on Putra Blast?
I've only checked out the introductions.
Okay, you better check for this week because actually this week already I'm starting on chapter 3 after this. So
Alright,
you will miss the class. This is chapter 2 is also important. Okay. If you miss the drawing, if you don't understand the drawing, then it's you miss the lesson that we are covering in the class. Okay.
Anything I don't get, I will chat you up on WhatsApp.
So do your revision on chapter 2. Check the files that I provide to the class in Putra Blast. If you have anything, ask me. Okay? Okay, you can communicate with me through WhatsApp or you can have even this kind of meeting. You can set the meeting and then I will join the meeting. Okay? Right. Hanif.
Alright, doctor. Thank you so much.
Okay. Hanif.
Ya, doktor.
Okay, can you give me slack time for Denmark activity D?
B doktor.
Denmark.
D.
Slack time equal to?
Saya dapat 0.
No.
Oh, ya, kejap
Jawapan saya tak sama?
Saya kira balik.
Okay. D. Okay. Now let me. Can you check your answer? If D is 0 means that it should be one
Tapi
of
dia tak
the.
critical time.
Kan kalau 0 supposed to it should be one of the critical activity under critical path. So your answer on the critical path, which one? Activity under critical. Okay.
HI.
Semula Hanif. Again.
ABEFHI.
A, B, E.
EF.
Okay. Tu betul. Tapi D tu supposed to be slack time equal to 3.
15.
Ada tu yang tak kena tu.
Yes.
There's something wrong with your calculation. Jiayin. 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 Or I should call you Ling. Are you there? Maharas? Maharas?
Yes, bro.
No. Very slow. Your sound, I think, slow, too slow. You have done your exercise, the exercise? Maharas?
Yes, bro.
Okay. You get the answer for question number 1. Maharas?
Yeah.
So slack time
Yes,
for G. G. Government lah. Slack time for G. What is the slack time for G? Do you have the answer, Maras?
Yes.
So what's your answer?
2.
Slack time for G. Government.
Yeah.
Is it 2? Okay, now for G, earliest start time is what? Earliest start time.
It's 12.
12.
Oh, no, sorry, it's yeah. it's that time.
So
Earliest start time is 10. Yeah.
slack time equal again G. Earliest start time. How? What is your answer for that? Earliest start time. How many weeks? On week?
On week 10.
G. 10. From my calculation, it's supposed to be 12.
Oh yeah, 12. Sorry, doctor. 12. It's 12.
12 is it comes from D.
Yeah.
D is earliest finish time is 12. So earliest start time for G is 12. So what is the slack time for G? Because earliest start time for G is 12. Earliest finish time for G is 15. Because 12 plus 3 is 15, right?
Yeah.
And latest finish time for G?
Latest finish time for G is gonna be 15.
Again? 18?
It's gonna be 18. 18.
18.
Yeah.
So meaning that if you calculate the slack time, it will be either you minus latest finish time with the earliest finish time, or right?
Last finish time and earliest finish time.
All right. So slack time for G?
It's going to be 5.
Again?
5.
No, not 5. You should check back your answer.
Okay, 4.
If you get the calculation for the duration 22, it's already correct. But when you do, but there must be something. But usually, if you wrongly calculate the what do you call it, forward pass and backward pass, usually your answer on the duration also will be wrong. It's not the correct answer. Okay. Another one. Ziri. Are you there? Taufik. Taufik Zaidong. Taufik. Mana ni, ada ke tidak? Syahrul Syafi'i. Syarul.
Ya, Doktor.
Okay ke tidak? Are you okay with the exercise? Do you have any question for me to ask before I move on to the second question?
C je tak reti sangat.
Macam mana? Syarul?
Nak buat projek duration tak tahu sangat.
Project duration. You know how to do the drawing for the Gantt chart?
Tahu.
Gantt chart, okay. Network diagram, apa yang kurang faham?
Network diagram nak letak yang dua nombor atas, dua nombor bawah. Tak tahu sangat nak letak nombor dua bawah, dua atas tu.
Nak letak atas bawah? Forward pass and backward pass ke? Do you mean forward pass and backward pass?
Yang nombor atas bawah tu.
Atas bawah, okay.
Earliest.
Atas bawah, earliest start time, earliest finish time, latest start time, latest finish time. Therefore, apa tu penjuru kat tu kan? Okay. Do you know how to calculate the forward pass, which is on the earliest finish, earliest start time and earliest finish time? Yang atas?
Tahu.
Okay. So if you have to activity, okay, means that you get the highest number. Okay, for example, if you want to have activity E, earliest start time for E, okay, you refer to your answer, you have earliest start time for E, which is come from B and C. Am I correct?
Yes.
And if you refer to your diagram, E, the arrow comes from B and C. Okay?
Yes.
C, earliest finish time is 4, and B, earliest finish time is 7. Okay? So, earliest start time for E is the highest number. You pick up the highest number. Because, okay, although you finish C at week 4, but still you haven't finished B at week 4, means that you have to wait until week 7, and you can proceed with activity E. So that's how the use of dependency lah. Okay. And another example for H, Holland, H, okay, which is you have the earliest finish time for G is 15, and you have the earliest finish time for F is 18. So you pick up yang F lah, 18. So 18 will be the earliest start time for H. I think forward pass very that straightforward.
Okay.
And backward pass the same lah. Okay, but in this example,
Can be.
tak ada kan? Macam tak ada. Okay.
Okay.
Wasik Sata. Ni yang lambat ni dah setengah jam. 40 minutes already for this one. Question number 1. Wasik,
Yes, doctor.
you have any? Anything to ask?
No, doctor.
Sorry? Anything to ask on this one? Question number 1. What about your network diagram?
Doctor, can you hear me? Hello?
You have, it's a bit difficult. That's why I want to explain. Usually we put in drawing and then much easier. Okay. Or one of the way I can show. Hold on. In my email, I think I have apa Anis ada hantar kat saya kan?
Ada doctor.
Kejap,
Ada.
there's Anis send me one her answer for that. Okay. Okay, this one Anis. Thank you, Anis. I malas nak buat. I have my own drawing, but okay. So cantik sikit Anis punya daripada saya. Okay. Right. So this is what Anis done. Okay. Right. For example, forward pass. Okay, 0 for the earliest start time for A, and then earliest finish time for A is 3. Okay, 0 plus 3. 3 weeks, right, for A. Okay. Very straightforward here. Okay, 3. And then plus 4, 7. Okay. And 7 here. Okay, earliest start time for D. That's D, right? Okay. Then earliest start time. So what we have here between B and C, okay, 7 and 4. Okay. So earliest start time will be the largest one, it will be 7. Okay. And between B and C for E, okay, 4 and 7 as well. So it will be 7 here. Okay, that is forward pass here. Very straightforward here. It will be earliest start time for G. Okay. Then get here up to here. Then you have final. Okay, final means finish lah. This finish, right? So from here you know that it's 22 weeks also needed for this particular activities phase, yeah. And from this one, okay, you can have meaning that 22 weeks to finish. Okay, so it will be also for the latest finish time will be 22 here. Okay, then for the backward pass, okay, from right to left, okay, 22 minus 2 will be 20. Okay, and then here 20 as well. Okay, and for this one, okay, you have minus ni. This is the earliest latest start time. For H is 18. Okay, so it will be also G and F will be 18 here. Okay. Okay, and then very straightforward here. Okay, 18 minus 8 will be 10. So 10 here. This is very straightforward. Okay. And so this is very straightforward as well. Okay, so for this one, 10. Okay, so it will be here. Okay. Okay, boleh kelas?
Okay.
Sometimes when you do the arrangement on the box, like here you can put in more, move forward here, and then it will be better. Okay. But as long as your answer is, you understand, you can do the calculation well, okay, it's good. Okay. So what I did, usually I would counter check in terms of what they call, the missing here is the slack time. Okay, you can jot down ST equal to how many. So just minus between this one, okay, between the earliest finish time and also latest finish time, or earliest start time and latest start time. Okay, so you can get the, what you can counter check as well, class, is the difference between these two boxes. Okay, it should have the same figure. If not, means that there must be something wrong. Okay, meaning that when you calculate slack time minus the this one and this one, okay, or this one and this one, okay, on the left or right, left and right, then means that there must something wrong. You can do, you should revise your calculation. Okay, so any question before I move on to question number 2?
Doctor,
Yeah,
for exam we can do both, right? I mean handwritten or
it should be handwritten.
for the box. For the
Yes.
box, I mean for the
Yeah. Usually, that is one option you are looking for, because we don't have much option. What you have to put on paper, means that you have to write your answer on paper for the drawing lah, especially because it's quite difficult, right? And
I use
then from there, you can snap and then upload your file. Means that you give the answer based on your own drawing. And but later when dekat nak midterm later, we will explain lah how it works for your midterm. And we still discussing. I'm still discussing with Dr. Sal and Dr. Nohayati on that. Okay, we don't have the question yet pun, and but of course scheduling will be one of the must have question lah in the midterm. It's covered in midterm, ya. Okay. Ada lagi soalan? Okay, for yeah.
Doctor, I don't understand the late LFT, late finish time.
Yeah.
That I don't really understand.
Late finish time. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just show the example just now. Okay, for this one. Okay. Late finish time, meaning that the latest time which that particular activity should be completed. Okay. All right. So as you know, slack time, which is we see the difference between latest finish time and earliest finish time. Okay. And then from there, you know slack time equal to 0 is the critical path. So for example, this one, B is one of the critical path. Okay. And the latest finish time, which is 7, is the latest activity B should be completed. Okay, the latest activity B should complete. Okay. And meaning that if that activity not complete in week 7, okay, meaning that there must be some problem, they possibly give impact, not problem, it will give impact to the project progress. Okay, project progress means that the developer who are doing on activity B, okay, person in charge should take note. Okay, by week 7 we have to complete the activity B. Okay, if not, it will give impact to the next activity, which is activity D, which is earliest start time for activity D should be 7. Okay, that's how we consider in terms of certain constraint when it involves when it involve the critical activity. Okay, let's say for now, activity activity D. Okay, activity D is not activity D is not a critical path. Okay, okay, activity D is not a critical path. Okay, so latest finish time for D is week 15. Okay, and earliest finish time for D is 12, week 12. So between earliest finish time and latest finish time, there are a slack time, which is 3 weeks. The developer have extra time, what they call extra time lah, or the duration of delay that the developer have for activity D. Okay, so that's why slack time here is very important. We want to know the constraint for the not only the activity which is critical, but also the activity which is not critical. But still there are certain constraints how many weeks they have an extra time for the delay. Okay, meaning that for activity D here, okay, the developer can delay activity D up to week 15. Up to week 15. Okay, because, alright, because on that particular week, which is here, also not critical, but they will start at earliest is on week 12. Okay. So that is the constraint lah, Mas. Am I answering your question? Do you want to know the calculation or you want to know what is the things behind that? Apa yang tanya tadi?
I want to know the calculation, doctor.
Calculation. Okay. Calculation.
Yes.
Calculation. Okay. Which one? Yeah, a bit confused for you. Because for like here it's very straightforward, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the D.
B. 7 is the
Not D, doctor. D, donkey.
D.
Yeah.
D. This one.
Yes.
Okay. It's from here. From G. 15. So meaning that latest finish time for D, it comes from latest start time for G. It's very straightforward. Okay. Unless you have two. Example here. Okay. Latest finish time for F, which is okay, comes from here. Very straightforward, this one. Okay. This one example, if there are here, possibly later. In the question to the example, which is more to calculate on that part, because this is very straightforward here for this particular drawing. Very straightforward. Here, okay. So meaning that for F also, okay, latest finish time is come from the latest start time from H. Okay, because we are starting from right to left. Okay? Ada lagi? Boleh tak? Jadi kalau boleh tunjuk yang question number.
Doktor, yang latest start time dia 10 tu dapat dari mana?
Latest start time 10.
D for D, the latest D. The latest start time is 10.
15 minus 5. 15 minus 5, you got 10. This one 18 minus 3, you get 15. That is backward. Okay, like here, 18 here comes very straightforward here. 18 minus 8, you get 10 here. Okay, 10 minus 3, you get 7. So meaning that latest finish time 10, minus by the duration of the activity, then you can get the latest start time. Here. 7 minus 4, so latest start time for C is 3. Okay? If you go here, A and C, you can see the difference. This is 0, 0. Okay, so it should be the critical activity. C, okay, there are difference here, which is slack time equal to 3. Okay, slack time which is 3 minus 0 or 7 minus 4, you get 3. So slack time for C is 3. Slack time for E is 0. Okay, slack time for F is 0. So you know this is a critical path. So here also difference 0. So very direct lah here. A, B is critical activity, E is critical activity, F is critical activity, H is critical, and I is critical. Okay. Others, when they have difference here, okay, 15 and 18 will be slack time will be 3 for activity G. D slack time is equal to 3. Okay. D is a activity. Okay. It's a critical activity. Slack time equal to 0. So non-critical activity is C, D, and G. Okay, 3 activity which is not critical. However, slack time for each activity are different. The duration that the developer have lah, how long they can extend the project, meaning that on activity C, the latest finish time is supposed to be 7. Okay, so latest finish time for D is week 15. Okay, although they should start the activity G on week 12, but they have a certain duration that they can extend the activities. However, the latest G should complete is on week 18, okay, and I in week 22, so that the project can be complete on time. Okay ke? Can I move to the second question? Alhamdulillah. Boleh? Second question. Second question. Anyone done on this one? This is the second question.
Hello, doctor. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Hello.
On the second question, if you do the drawing pakai kan chart, I dah buat. It's a bit difficult if you do the Gantt chart sebab if you do your column multiply by 5, okay, 5, 10, 15, because there is an activity which is like 8, right? It's not multiplied by 5, kan? Like 7 here, right? Have 8 here. Will be a bit difficult. But if you do on paper, it's not that difficult lah. Okay. This is when I'm using Gantt chart when I do the each column represent 5 days. Okay, 5 days or 5 days. Okay, so I get the answer. All right. So for this drawing, like I have like 60. Okay, 55. Okay, 55. Okay, I did also by multiply. Hold on. By using like this one. It's up to you. Either one column to represent 2 or 5 is up to you. But you know that, just take note that there are 7 days how you want to do the portion for that particular column. Okay, if you do the drawing, it's much easier. Okay, on paper. Okay, but here you have to divide the column into two, like what I did just now. Okay. Okay, like I did this just now. This okay, because it's black here, it's colored black, so you can see like this one, this box I divided into two. Okay, two columns of this particular box. Right. So as long as you get the answer correct, okay, how to know that your answer is correct? Then you have to do the chart together with network diagram. Okay, if both represent the same duration, then the answer is correct. Okay, so can now we check on that.
Can.
I have to answer this one. Echo. Kat rumah. Kenapa tak? Tengok, tengah kelas. Kenapa tak? Pukul 12. Nanti saya call kat balik. Ya ke? Oi. Okay. Hi. Okay. So for question number 2, just to get the answer. First, a very brief answer. How long is the project duration? How many days? How many days for this particular activity?
55.
55.
Huh?
55.
55.
Okay. What about others?
Same, doctor. 55.
Huh?
Same.
Same.
Same, Cheryl? You get 55 from your
55.
Gantt and network diagram?
Yes, doctor.
Yes.
55.
Okay, good. So Hidup Zaman, Shakil also Hidup Zaman. I should call you So Hidup Zaman or Shakil?
Shakil, ma'am.
Shakil, you get
Yes,
the
ma'am.
answer?
Ma'am, actually,
You've done on second question?
yes, ma'am.
For the second question on the exercise
Yes,
that
ma'am.
we discussed just now?
Yes.
Huh?
What should I answer, ma'am?
You should do the exercise. This one I already provide to in the Putra Blast. This particular file, the part 1, exercise part 1. And now
Yes,
we
ma'am.
are on the second question for this one. If you can see
Yes, ma'am. I can see.
my file, word files here. Okay. Have you done the exercise?
Ma'am, I did try to Gantt chart, but ma'am, I had some problem with the week duration. Like,
Okay.
yes, ma'am. I thought first it was based on the first one you solved, like the task one. But now I realized that it was like totally different.
Okay.
Like I was
No
comparing it
problem.
to,
No problem. Still
the
learning.
first one. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
no problem. Don't worry. You still have time. You still have time to do the revision. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
What
I
about
got it
question
now.
1? Just now you still have some miscalculation there?
No, ma'am. It's fine
No.
there.
Okay. Okay. Question 2, you have problem.
Ma'am, it's clear now. Now I know. As I saw your solution. Now I understand. There is no problem now.
Okay. Good. What should I do this one? I have the calculation, but it's not. Hold on, Should I snap mine? Tak cantik lah. It's not that good. Anis ada jawapan? Anis?
Ada, doctor.
Hantar. Can you share? Can you share?
No,
Don't you email me?
I have it on paper. I'll share it on WhatsApp or
Just email us now. I don't want to
email. Okay, okay. Kejap.
put an email. Right? Okay. Yeah. So for question number 2, while waiting for Anis to share her answer. Okay. So question number 2, okay, as mentioned, the duration is 55 days. Okay. So for question number 2, if you have now question number 2, which one is the critical path?
Hello,
Mana satu
doctor. Can you
critical
hear
path?
me?
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Huh? Yes,
Hello,
yes.
doctor. T1, T3, T9, 11, 12. That's my critical part.
T1, T3, T9,
T11,
T11
T12.
and T12. Okay, good,
Yes.
Shakir. Okay.
Doctor, it's me Prasant, not Shakir.
Again? Again, I can't hear you. Okay. So for now, Wasik, are you there? Wasik? Wasik?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. You get 55 days for your answer? Second question?
Yes, doctor.
55, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So the critical path, which one is the critical activity?
I say, doctor, second question. I haven't
Yeah.
done yet.
You haven't done
Yes,
yet. You should done on the second question, because it's a bit, I don't know, maybe you must do that, okay, so that you better understand on the forward pass and backward pass, and also the slack time calculation. Okay.
Okay, doctor.
So the check, the answer should be project duration 55 days. Okay, as long as you get 55 days for that, meaning that it should be correct lah. Inshallah, it's correct. Okay. Understand that?
Baru send. Yeah. I got 55 days, but I'm not sure if everything is correct.
Check together.
Okay.
As long as you did the exercise, okay. Okay, thank you, Anis. So this is question 2. Dia nampak? Semua dia nampak ya? So I should put in video. Okay. Okay, you can do on this one. Okay. Right. So question number 2. Okay, can we check together, class? Right. So question number 2, from the table, if you can refer from your notes, okay, and from this and also this drawing, okay. As mentioned, critical path is T1, T3, T9, T11, and T12, right? Okay, T11 and T12. Okay. From this one, okay, let me check. Okay. Okay. If you notice, yeah, Anis and also others, okay, one of the things that usually we did is that there is a one arrow which is go inside one activity, and there must be at least one arrow in and out, okay, from in and also out of the box, okay, from the activity. Okay, what we have here is that T10 is like hanging, right? There's an arrow which is inside to T10, but no arrows outside T10 here. Right?
Yeah.
So suppose we have an
Also,
arrow here
also
to
T8.
finish. T10 should have one arrow, go to finish here. Okay? And also T8 here is hanging, right? So suppose to just do one arrow, just draw one arrow from T8 from here to finish here. Then it will be more complete. Okay. Okay. So the problem now is that, okay, the problem now, luckily Anis can do in terms of the project duration, which is 55. Okay. And luckily that one is because it's under critical path. Eh? But from this one, what about activity which is not under critical path? Okay, for example, T10 here and also T8. Yeah. So when you have one arrow from here to and T8 to here, what you need to have the figure for the latest finish time is actually supposed to be the same which under the project duration. Sorry. Okay. So meaning that here T10 latest finish time for T10 supposed to be here 55. 55 here. Okay. It's not the same here. Okay. Supposed to be 55 also. And here also supposed to be T8 55. Okay. Okay. So meaning that if this in this example, okay, T8 and T4, okay, the calculation is wrongly lah here. It's not correct. Okay. Advising you to do question number 2 here because it's a bit tricky in terms of that one hanging, right? Here, have an arrow here, you have an arrow here, and the latest finish time for the activity which is has link with the finish line here, okay, supposed to have the same, okay, 55 here, and here also 55. Okay, don't worry, Anis. Okay, I think you have in terms of the calculation is there. Method of because I not yet mentioned in the class because from the previous example don't have this such kind of layout or drawing, right? So T10 here, okay, and then you can revise back your calculation. Okay, so for this particular example, for T8, okay, T8 is supposed to be here 55. So slack time will be 55 minus 35. Will be slack time equal to 20. So together with here, okay. Want to show the example when there are latest start time when you want to calculate latest finish time. Okay. Same. Okay. Any question for this question number 2?
Doktor nak tanya,
Yeah.
kalau slack time untuk T8 dengan T10 tu, dia ambil latest finishing time tolak earliest finish time lah kan? Sebab kalau ambil yang start time tu dia jadi kosong kan?
Semula-semula yang mana? Which one?
Untuk yang tergantung yang T8 dengan T10 tu.
Okay.
So slack time dia jadi yang latest finish time tolak latest start time, earliest.
Latest finish time dia is
maksudnya 55 tolak 35 lah instead of 10 tolak 10 kan, sebab kalau tak dapat kosong.
Contoh ya, T10. Okay. T10 latest finish time here is 55. Am I correct? So 55 minus minus 43.
That is the
Cik
slack
betul tak
time
jawapan?
kan? Instead of
Yeah,
sebab
yes.
kalau depan tu still 28 minus 28 kan? Ke kena
No,
depan
no,
juga?
salah tu salah. So bila sini 55, you minus by 15, supposed to be here is 40. That's why bila dah salah sini, when you wrongly, one of your calculation is wrong, then it will affect the others.
So yang latest start time is berapa tu?
Latest start time will be 55 minus 15. It will be latest start time.
Okay, thank you.
For example, here T8. So 55 minus 35, it will be 20. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. 55 minus 35, it will be
0.
20. I know.
20.
55
20,
minus
20.
20.
20.
20.
20.
20.
20.
Total.
Ni pun ada salah ni. 20. Okay. So 55 minus 35 is 20. Okay. So there will be slack time. Okay, now you want to calculate here. Okay, latest start time. Latest start time 55 minus by 25.
30.
Then you get the latest start time. Okay, then here should be 30. I want to show you my answer, but tak cantik lah. Very.
Doctor, I have the answer that.
I have mine here, but very rough one lah. Without apa tu? It's not good drawing lah. Yes. Apa tadi soalannya? Sejuk dah Nescafe saya.
Doktor boleh hantar ke WhatsApp. Your answer.
Boleh? Yes, I can. But question this one. I don't want to do a new one. Sorry for that. Yeah? Okay. Question number 1. Phone is not good. Actually. Question number 4. Still in progress. I don't have time to do that. Okay. Right. Why there's a missing question number 3? Okay, because I want you to do that for your first assignment. Okay. Boleh? Although you have the answer class, but still I want you to do on your own so that you know how to do the calculation. Okay. For example, just now on the latest finish time, you want to calculate latest start time LST. Okay, between this one. Don't make confusion lah. Okay. Slack time between this one and this one. Okay. Okay. This is to calculate slack time. But if you want to calculate on the latest start time, this one, latest finish time minus by duration, activity duration. Then you can get the latest start time. Okay. You can refer to the another notes which is on that I provide to you. Okay, additional on the network diagram. Okay, class. 1 hour, more than 1 hour only for 2 questions. I think much easier in the class lah. You can do hands-on drawing on the whiteboard kan. Tapi for now, this is the way lah. Okay, for now lah. If you have any question, additionally we can have additional tutorial ke exercise later if you need more. Okay, thank you Anis. Still you can modify all these questions, these answers here. Okay, so that you can answer later. Okay, then ini dia yang silap sikit je. You can revise lah, you start on the forward dulu, revise balik your answer and then you do the backward. Okay.
Okay, Doctor. Boleh.
As I mentioned, backward, if you have two earliest start time, okay, pick up the lowest number. Okay. If you have forward pass, you pick up the highest number. Okay. Like this one, 15 and 10. Okay. You pick up the highest one, which is 15. Okay. For example, on the latest finish time, okay, like here, latest finish time. Okay, for this T1, latest finish time, it comes from T16, T7, right? This one, T3. You have 18, 8 and 8, for example, for this example, okay? So, latest finish time for T1, you have this one, T3, T7, and T6. So you pick up the lowest number, okay? Which is T8. The same goes for the example, like here, T2, okay, which is come from 18 here, and 18 is the same. So it should be 18. So, okay, like here, 18 and 10, okay, the latest start time, 40, this is backward, yeah, okay, between T5 and T8, okay, so latest finish time, 44 is the lowest one, okay, between 18 and 10, so you get 10 here. So I will share through WhatsApp. Okay, if you don't understand my drawing, sorry, you can ask me. Okay, I'll give you the answer for these 3 questions. Question 1, 2, and 4. Okay, question 4, question 3. Okay, question 3, it will be your assignment 1. Okay, but I will post the question later in the Putra Blast under assignment, and from there you can make the drawing and post the drawing through Putra Blast. Okay, the instruction will be further later, right? Okay, for this one. Okay. Question number 4 is very straightforward. Okay, which is, as I mentioned before, question 4 here. Okay, have you done question 4, class?
Yes.
Ah, okay. So how long the project should complete?
60
How long
days.
it should complete?
60 days.
60 days. Good. 60 days. Which one is the critical path? If you have the drawing now, lah. Which one is the critical activity?
They have 2 critical path, Doctor.
Yeah. Okay. 2 critical path, because that 2, when you do the summation, when you add on all those duration, you get 60, and there are 2 paths which is equal to 60, the highest, right? Okay, and from there, okay, what the difference between question 4 and others, question 1, 2, and 3, is that this particular question give you a specific date, right, which is start on 30th September. So you can use your phone, okay, the calendar as well, to see or to calculate in terms of the specific date, okay, because the question here, okay, right, okay, for this one, determine the project duration and the finishing date of the project, okay. Project duration, you mentioned just now 60 days. But as well, you have to identify or you have to calculate and you know specific date the project should be completed. Okay, even you have 60 days. Okay, if you refer to the calendar, okay, for that specific date which is start on 30th September, okay, 30th September last year, okay, 2019, okay, okay. So what you can do manually as well is that you just calculate 60 days lah. Okay, let's say September 2019, okay, start on 30th September. September 2019 is on Monday. You can check your calendar together with me, class. Okay, 30th September is on Monday. Okay, meaning that let's say activity A, 15 days. 15 here is a working day. Assuming, in the question mentioned, assume that 5 working days a week and no public holiday. So meaning that Monday working, 30th is the first day of the project. Okay. Then 5 days means that from Monday to Friday. Okay. So Monday to Friday will be complete 5 days, 5 working days, right? So meaning that you should finish activity A. Okay, estimate earliest finish time for activity A is that will be when? For 15 days.
3 weeks after.
Ya, berapa hari bulan? On which date? Specific date. For A, 15 days. 18, right? 18 of October, October 18. Right? So, can you refer to your calendar? I'm using my phone now. Okay? Understand? Boleh? And then B, 15 days. Dependencies is, for B is A. Okay, meaning that you can start B on 21st October 2019. Okay, class? Boleh? Okay tak?
Boleh, boleh.
Boleh?
Boleh, doktor.
Boleh.
So, C as well, dependency on A. So, C, okay, A finish at 18. And then you can start on C, 10 days. Okay, so meaning that when you're supposed to finish on C?
1st November.
1st November. Okay? Okay, another one. C. And D. D, dependency is A. Okay, A you finish on 18 just now. Okay, so D 10 days. So also on November, right? 1st November for D. Boleh? Okay. Now, let's say you the project start on September 30th September 2019. The project duration is 60 days. So when the project should finish? Can you give me specific date?
20th December.
60 working days. Sama-sama kira. Okay.
Yeah. 23rd December.
23rd December. Saya belum sempat kira, dah tertekan tadi. Sekejap ya.
Saya dapat 22.
Doctor, 29th November.
Kejap. Dah, kena kira.
Doctor. Hello.
60 hari kan? Okay. So,
Doctor. Doctor. Hello.
Yes.
29th November.
Why
So, I
29?
dah buat dah soalan ni.
20th
29 is
December.
November. Why 29? 29 is Sunday. And November?
Oh, 29th is Sunday. Oh, only working days? Oh, no. Alamak, saya silap kira. Sorry.
Okay. Kira balik. I pun nak kira balik. Berapa?
I got 20th December, Doctor.
Okay.
Yeah, 20 December.
20?
20 December.
Okay. Last day of the project is on 20th December. 20th December on Friday. Kau check balik. Okay lah. Okay. So berapa minggu? Twentieth, yeah? Can you get the answer? 20th?
Yes, Doctor, I got this
December?
one.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Right. So you can manually actually calculate the you can answer this one by manually calculate. Also can. Okay. Finishing date. Okay. Project duration as well you can get from your Gantt chart. Okay. If this question, okay class, this question not specifically ask you on the slack time, you don't have to do the drawing forward pass and backward pass. Right? Even here, produce a network diagram here is only 5 marks. You can just put in the simple one. Okay? A simple one for this example. For example, yeah, this one. Without the earliest start time, latest latest finish time, all that. Okay, just a simple one. Nampak tak? So using this drawing as well to answer that particular question, this particular question is enough. Okay? Okay, even for the critical path, you can identify from this simple diagram, right? Project duration as well, you can get from the Gantt chart and also this network diagram. Finishing date, you just can do the calculation using calendar. Okay, to make the to know the exact date on the last day of the project. Okay. Identify critical path and just mention which one is the critical path. Okay, you can mention in then okay, then it's enough. Okay, which activity are the critical path. You do this drawing even, okay, you just put in some sign which one is the critical path, and then you just mention, okay, this is activity here, critical path, then it's enough. Okay. So, any question? Sejuk lah Nescafe saya. Supposed to be hot, Not apa in the tin lah, Is it clear, class? Okay. In the case of any one of you still having problem, I will send through WhatsApp the answer here. But still you need to do your own exercise first and then refer to the answer. That's a better way. Okay? Because if I'm change any of the figure from the exercise, even the answer will be different already. Right? Okay, you know what I mean. If in the table just now, I put in different figure, it will give different answer. Okay? So meaning that you have to understand in terms of the calculation, all that, then you can understand. And then you can have the answer. Okay? Actually, you do your own later, your own exercise. Yeah. So, any question before I move on to chapter 3? For those who prefer to have additional exercise, you can. I will give you, right? And then, if you prefer to have like this kind of meeting for me to explain for your revision, just request. Maybe you can set a meeting, different from the class lah. I mean, additional class. If you need any additional classes, mention to me. Then we can have before your midterm lah. Then because midterm you already cover this one, we'll ask you. Okay, now you can ask me. Still ask me lah. Okay. Okay, itu saja. Chapter 2. Before I proceed chapter 3, you still have that. Yeah.
Yang assignment tu Dr. upload bila?
Assignment. Okay, tak sabar ya. Most probably tomorrow.
Okay.
Because afternoon I have another class. Introduction to SE. As a guideline, second question, more or less the same. Okay, so if you do it now, okay, if I have later, maybe I just modify a bit, but the table is the same lah. And maybe I add another extra 1 or 2 questions from that particular question from what we have. Okay, so you can start from now. Okay, I will notify because when I'm creating the assignment here means that you can upload from there, right? From here. Okay, to the Pro Plus. Soalan lain? Soal?
Tak ada.
Good. Chapter 3 I tak masuk lagi. Okay. For now, by this week, hopefully you settle on the scheduling, yeah, because we want to move to the third chapter already. Okay, I have to get from here. Chapter 3. I will upload later chapter 3, yeah, sorry for that. Okay, right. Okay, so for now, bye-bye second chapter 2, but still if you want to have some revision there, you can request from me, yeah? So for chapter 3 is under cost estimation. Okay, are you ready class? Saya proceed terus lah, sekejap je, introduction je, a very brief one. Chapter 3, nampak ya? Cost estimation. Right? Chapter 3?
Yes, okay, Doctor.
Boleh Doctor.
So, okay, done on the scheduling, planning and scheduling. Cost estimation is one of another important elements in project management. Okay, when you want to have a project, of course, it's involve money, cost. Okay, no money, no talk. Okay, also on the project. Okay, if you want to have a software development project, so on the monetary part is very important for the developer as well for the customer. Okay, developer, as I mentioned before, okay, they are providing the service on development. Okay, customer side is the one they are producing the budget, or they are investing. They provide the money. Okay, so their investment are very important, of course. Okay, developer, they're concerned about the cost and also the profit. Okay, and the costing is one of the component or part in the project planning as well. Okay, and the costing itself can be very general. General means that how much in total, or maybe you can specify in detail. Okay, usually at early of the project, okay, the cost is not that clear. Clear means that for the customer side, of course, they have a budget. Okay, let's say they're willing to invest 100,000, 100K, 100K, right? So that 100K will be the income for the company, or the constraint of the costing is 100K for the company to complete the project. Okay. I did also give example before in chapter 1 is about tendering, right? Company or customer announce a tender, and the company and developer company, they're interested to bid for the tender, and then that will be the amount for that particular project. Okay, let's say 100,000. So early start of, not even the project start, is early before the project start is the one, the cost that being agreed, okay, being agreed between the customer and the developer side. In a way of cost estimation itself can be the total one, okay, but for the developer side, they have to do more than that. They have to not precisely, but detail out the cost for the project in detail, okay, because it will be their portion of the allocation of the cost based on certain justification, okay. So what we have in chapter 3 is that how a certain model will assist the developer to do the estimation. Okay, so based on the title itself, software cost estimation is an estimation. We make the estimation, and hopefully the estimation is as precise as possible. Okay, but how we want to know is a precise or is a better estimation that we make. Okay, so we should have some guideline. Okay, we make prediction, or we estimate this. That is the allocation of cost that we should the expense that we have to contribute for this particular project. Okay, so when we are asking how, then we are talking about the method or technique. Okay, where the certain approach can guide the developer in terms of making the estimation. Okay, because I can make my own estimation, but what is your justification? Sometimes people will ask, okay, I have 100K for this project. I'm the project manager. Okay, this is the allocation that I have. But what are the bases on that particular estimation? Okay, that's the question. Okay, in the company, okay, when talking about the real project, okay, in the company, usually some company, they possibly use certain tools or application to help them to do the estimation. Okay, you put in this data, okay, you put in this portion, and then this is the figure that you get, okay, for the estimation, right? But okay, in this class, it's not that, okay, you pick up a tool and then you just make the estimation, then you can get the figure. Okay, you can do that, okay, but however, we want the student to explore more behind the estimation itself. Okay, how the tool itself, the back end, how they do the calculation, how they perform the calculation, what formula they are using, what technique they are using. Okay, because it's not because from there actually for that particular tool they use certain model. When you go through the chapter later, you'll know certain model. Okay, this model, what is actually the model? What they specify in terms of the calculation, what formula they are using. Okay, so that is when we are talking about formulas. Okay, there are certain possibility as well. Let's say I'm a project manager, my experience already like more than 10 years, 15 years, for example. Okay, let's say my experience already 15 years. I'm expert in terms of doing that application under that domain. Okay, for example, SMP, Sistem Maklumat Pelajar. Okay, so my company already concentrate on that business, specifically on domain for the university, on creating their application on the student registration or anything related on the sistem maklumat pelajar, for example. Okay, so I'm the experienced developer. I may have my basis on doing the estimation. Okay, throughout our experience, we have done this particular institution, and more or less this company also possibly have the main core business is the same. Okay, possible. Okay, because it's the same domain, and usually the module will be more or less different, the same, just that we want to make the development based on the specific needs, for example. Okay, that's the scenario, for example. So I can make my own justification, what are the costs involved, and based on my experience. So that is what we call experience based. Okay, I don't use the formulas, I don't use any of the formulas calculation, but that is the estimation based on my own experience. Okay, so sometimes experience based on are very useful, because there some of the things that is not being concerned or is not being highlighted elsewhere, but they do that particular development, and they experience that kind of way of development lah. Okay, so talking about on that technique, we can divide it into two major techniques, which is estimation using algorithmic and non-algorithmic. Very simple on that. Okay, non-algorithmic, what is non-algorithmic we will discuss later, and also algorithmic approach. What I want to mention here is that non-algorithmic is very not simple, but it's very straightforward. Usually it's more on the experience base, it's more on the prediction, very common prediction. Algorithmic approach is the one that using formulas, and approach that can be many several approach. Okay, and those approach usually based on the development methodology or prediction, which is being highlighted by other researcher. Okay, so later what we are covering the most is the one under algorithmic approach, and what we introduce in the class is COCOMO, cost estimation, which is COCOMO. And COCOMO itself, if you refer, you go for very very simple searching COCOMO, you type in the search engine, you will get many version of COCOMO. Okay, so what we cover is COCOMO 2. Okay, don't worry in terms of COCOMO mana nak pakai semua ni, sebab itu adalah, that is the thing that we consider in terms of to experience the student on in terms of the calculation lah. Okay. Okay. So cost estimation itself, if you refer on the what is, cost estimation is a process. Okay, process of predicting effort required to develop a software system. Why we didn't mention process of predicting the cost? Because in costing itself, it more interpret in terms of effort. Okay, let's say I'm the developer, I'm project manager. Okay, I put in my effort, and those effort interpreted in terms of costing. Okay, but effort itself also not only involved in terms of timeline, but also effort in terms of doing the work. Okay, on doing the work that should be done. Work in terms of activity, kan? Then duration, and that is rely on the based on the effort lah. Okay. So estimation model variety, as mentioned here as well, two categories, algorithmic and algorithmic. So accurate software cost estimates are critical to both developers and customer. Because customer concerned in terms of their money lah, investment, and developer as well, not only about the cost of the project, but also they concern about the profit. Yeah? Already mentioned in the class. Yeah? Not only about the how much the project costs, but also how much they get for the profit, because they have to, okay, concern on the continuation of their business. Huh? Okay. Through my experience, just to share to you, through my experience, a company in Malaysia like nation-based company for the developers. Actually, when they have contract with the government, for example, and when talking about tendering and project under governments, usually they involve a big project. Okay, once they get the project, they up to 100,000. Okay, 100,000. No, it's million. Sometimes it's up to million. Okay, so it's very big project. Okay, so once they have the project, it's good for them, for their business especially. But in certain way, there are certain challenges also. Okay, for the like for e-government, right? For the taxing, if you notice, last year, like testing. Sorry, I mean taxing. Okay, yang cukai punya tu pun government are changing dia punya system for the taxing, and even e-government involved like immigration, how big they are for the mission, actually cater for the mission agencies, government agencies. Okay, I think I should stop here. It's already 11:50. You have class at semua senyap. Penatan dia semua. Class? Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, just a very brief introduction of post estimation. Just remind me to give you these answers. Okay, any question before I call your name?
Tak ada.
Ada.
Tak ada.
Yeah. Okay, just Maharas, are you there?
Yeah.
Huh? Ada.
Here.
Okay. Wasik, make sure
Yes,
you
doctor.
do your exercise, Wasik, as well. Maleha,
Yes, doctor.
Rani,
Yes, doctor.
Yue, are you there, Yue? Tak ada ni, ha. Obichi, Shakil,
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Moaj, tak ada ni. Aina, Muhammad Faris, Muhammad Taufik,
Ada.
Abinish, Taufik, dah buat exercise belum? Panggil tak dengar.
Tadi saya hilang je. Exercise.
Make sure you buat exercise ya.
Ya.
Abinish,
Ada doktor.
Syazwani,
Ada.
Fahim Adlin. Fahim,
Ada.
okey tak scheduling?
Alhamdulillah okey.
Satu nak pula Jerry ni, Tom. Mana ni letaklah gambar sendiri pun nak kenal my student, you know. Why don't you put in your own picture?
Ma'am?
Yes?
Yeah, Obiechi present. I'm Obiechi. I'm here.
Obichi. Have you done your exercise, Obichi?
Oh?
The exercise, we discussed on the exercise just now.
Yeah. I was here.
Do you understand on the network diagram?
Yeah, I have a little bit of problem with the grand chart, but then I'll check on YouTube and then study it.
Could you check by this week so that I can help you anything with chapter 3 or further on chapter 3? Okay?
Okay.
If you have any question, just ask me regarding the
thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
You are here. Fahim? Fahim Adi?
Yes, saya.
Okay. Yeah. Okay tak okay?
Okey.
Sharon?
Alhamdulillah.
Ada Sharon?
Ada.
Sharon? Mana Sharon?
Ada.
Okay.
Ada.
Siti Aisyah?
Ada doktor.
Nur Syafika? Nurul Syafiqah? Tuan Sharifah?
Saya.
Ya, doktor.
Nurul ada? Okay. Muhammad Hanif? Muhammad
Saya,
Khairi?
doktor.
Khairi? Nurul Fatihah?
Ya, doktor.
Okay.
Ada, doktor.
Hasan, are you there?
Yes, doctor, I'm here.
Anis, okay. Alif Zuhairi? Nur Hazima? Nur
Yes,
Hazima?
yes.
Okay. Faiz,
Yo.
Muhammad Faiz.
Yeah, doctor.
Francisco? Francisco?
I'm here, doctor.
Okay, make sure you doing well on your exercise. If you have anything, ask me.
Alright, doctor.
Lin, Jiajin? Lin?
Samuel.
Yes, doctor. Lin, do you have any question for me? Are you alright with the exercise?
Yes.
Everything okay? Forward, backward pass, okay?
Yes.
Or you need extra class?
I'm
Okay, you get
sorry,
the
I
answers
can't
correct.
hear you clear, doctor.
You get the answer correct for the exercise that we just discussed just now?
I will correct it.
Yeah? Okay. Okay, try your best. If you have anything, just ask me, yeah?
Okay, thank you, doctor.
Abdul Wahab? Abdullah? Missing? Shaman?
Yes, doctor.
Shaman?
Yes,
Are
doctor.
you just joined the class?
No, doctor. I was some bad connection, but I heard everything. I was present
Yeah,
from the
you
first.
have everything? Okay,
Yeah.
good. Meaning that you are around last week for the class?
Last week, last week I didn't present because I went to immigration office for my passport. I WhatsApp you for the message.
Oh, so done already? Finished? Complete already with the passport?
Yeah, yes, doctor.
So you get the visa already?
Yeah, yes, doctor.
Okay, good. So what about the exercise?
Done, but I saw you. Some of them are incorrect. You just. So
Okay.
I'm practicing more.
Yeah. Try to do more exercise, yeah? Abdullah Abdul Wahab, not around, eh? Zhang Zirui?
Yes, doctor. Yes.
Are you okay? The exercise?
Yeah.
Good, eh? No problem? All are good?
Most of it I understand. Some I will regulate.
Okay, try to do exercise, and then if you have anything, ask me.
Okay, thank you.
Alright. Abdullah Abdul Wahab again. Ada? Abdullah Abdul Wahab. Alright. So with that, thank you so much. Alright, see you on Wednesday for the cost estimation, chapter 3. Alright, so with that, okay, Assalamualaikum, goodbye.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, doctor.
Take care, all of you. Take care.
Take care too. Bye.
Stay at home.